Clive Palmer declined to be interviewed, but in a statement told 7:30 the administrator was in charge when the explosion took place. He also said key management was placed on leave by the administrator. You can read his full statement and one from the administrator, FTI Consulting, on our website. If you've travelled by air, there's a good chance you've been on a Boeing 737. It's one of the world's most popular passenger jets. But the latest model of the aircraft is now at the centre of a global safety debate after 2 deadly crashes in less than 6 months. Nadia Daly reports.
Modern passenger planes are more computerised and more automated than ever. The technology's so sophisticated, planes can almost fly themselves.
Our top story this hour, an Ethiopian Airlines plane has crashed on its way to Nairobi.
But that technology has been called into question after an airliner crashed shortly after takeoff at the weekend, killing more than 150 passengers and crew. They were flying in a Boeing 737 MAX 8 aircraft, the latest model of one of the world's most popular airliners.
Even before the recovery of the black box flight recorder, evidence is pointing to mechanical failure.
Just 5 months ago, another MAX 8, flown by Lion Air, crashed into the sea a few minutes after taking off in Indonesia, killing everyone on board.
Unheard of. Unheard of to get 2 aircraft in such similar circumstances.
Aviation expert Neil Hansford has been watching developments closely.
The Ethiopian Airlines crash seems to have a great similarity to the characteristics of the Lion Air crash, and it all relates to this new software, which was basically to overcome some design limitations in the aircraft. They tried to introduce this new software very discreetly and didn't really tell the pilots and the operators about it.
All right, so if you want to come up, we'll take a seat in the simulator.
Ben Evans runs Flight Experience, which holds training sessions for pilots in their Boeing 737 simulator. It's an earlier model than the MAX 8 involved in the crashes. He's about to fly the plane out of Addis Ababa Airport on the simulator.
This airport is at 7,000 feet above sea level, which is very high for a standard international airport. We can also see that we have got some fairly high terrain in the area.
I've seen a lot of reporting around this sensor in the MAX 8, which detects if the plane is doing something it shouldn't be and takes control in a way from the pilot. How does that work?
Yeah, so it's more of a passive system. So it's referred to as the MCAS system, and it simply is, as I say before, the 737 MAX has larger engines. Because of that, the positioning of the engines meant that the aircraft had a tendency to want to pitch the nose up or move the nose upwards. So the MCAS system was there as more of a passive system in the background to alleviate that problem, but it by no means takes control away from the pilots.
Former Inspector General of the US Transport Department, Mary Schiavo, told 7:30 the problem goes beyond the software.
If you have to program a plane with software because you put engines on the plane and the nose pitches up and it doesn't fly right, so you put software in the plane to pitch the nose down to keep the thing in the air, you have a problem.
As the investigation into the crash continues, several countries have grounded all Boeing 737 MAX 8 aircraft, including India, China, members of the European Union and Australia. But the United States Federal Aviation Administration and Boeing maintain the aircraft is fit to fly.
I don't know how anyone could, on the graves of 2 aircraft full of people, could say the airplane is fine. I mean, who in their right mind would say that or would believe that? There's something wrong, because planes do not fall from the sky, except if something's wrong.
The US Aviation Authority has ordered Boeing to make changes to the stabilising software, which Boeing says it's developing.
This has a danger, if you don't do it, of loss of aircraft control, losing altitude, and impact with terrain. That's what it says. We know what that means.
In a statement, Boeing said it had full confidence in the safety of the 737 MAX aircraft, and the software update will make it even safer. No Australian airline currently flies the MAX 8, but Virgin Australia has 30 on order, the first due to arrive in November. The airline declined an interview, but in a statement says it's watching developments closely and won't introduce the new planes to its fleet until it's satisfied they're safe to fly.
I wouldn't get on one. I won't go near one until I see that CASA has given a type certificate to Virgin, and Virgin have actually taken delivery, because then I'll know that beyond every reasonable doubt that the problems have been fixed.